It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a sort of reaction discussion video that's suggested by one of you guys. So shout out to Link123 in the Discord community for suggesting this video. Now this one's from JCGlitchmaster, titled "Did They Improve Blood Moon Dead by Daylight?" And I really wanted to talk about this topic because of the mere fact that I actually have played like the last sort of variations of the Blood Moon that we've gotten, and I have to say, like, they have been very bad for quite some time. They've been very terrible for quite some time, as you can probably guess. And as you can imagine, it's probably I can't even say probably, it's almost as bad. It's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad in comparison to what it was before. Now, couple reasons for that. One, there used to be unique gameplay modifications, so you could actually put down like these sort of like blood circles that offered increased lunge speed. I forget the other effects for killer, and then of course with survivor I think you were able to hide your grunts of pain, and probably something else that I completely forgot about. But either way, that was a unique aspect. You could literally just place it down on the ground and have that be like sort of like an option for gameplay. That would at least been something interesting. And instead they kind of removed that from the equation to add on to more gen rushing for some reason. Now, I don't entirely know why they're obsessed with trying to remove gameplay aspects and things that could make it at least remotely interesting. I don't entirely understand why they're just so obsessed with just making the gens fast. And I wanted to talk about this video from JCGlitchmaster specifically, because it covers probably my issues with the original Blood Moon, I would hope, and probably going to bring up even more reasons why this mode is terrible. So let's go ahead and actually give it a listen. The original video is linked in the description. We're not watching the full thing. If it isn't obvious enough, we're not going to be watching the full thing. We're just covering specific talking points. You can watch the full video on your own. Let's give it a listen.
Made one of the most negative videos I've ever made, which was essentially an unhinged rant about the dumpster fire that was the Blood Moon event. The behaviour have brought it back this year with some changes.
Well, why are you handing me this? What is this? More trash? Better be a written apology. Let's see this. Oh, look how big you are. Oh, this is very nice. Yeah, we gotta get this framed.
So this time around, is it actually good?
No.
Okay, but is it at least a little better than last year?
I have to touch on what JCGlitchmaster already started off with. I also have not only covered the videos that he made around that time, but I also had made my own, talking about how annoying it was to deal with it with this sort of like god awful event, because it was terrible. It really was terrible. It really had nothing going for it. It was garbage. And is it a little better? Yeah, but it's not much, you know what I mean? It's not by much. It's a turd that got hit with a bit of air freshener is still a turd, you know what I mean? Like, it still smells a little bit less, but it's still a piece of shit, you know what I mean?
But that's not really saying much, because it's still the worst modifier we've ever had. And if you think I'm being overly critical, it's because this replaced an actual fun Blood Moon event, but we'll get onto that later.
So at least JCGlitchmaster at least briefly mentioned that, and I wanted, hopefully that was to be mentioned within this. But let's go ahead and jump forward a little bit and see specifically like what the changes were.
Oh, now on top of this, you have no skill checks while doing these generators. You know, the most fun part of doing a generator. These blood generators are also faster to progress than normal generators. Okay, so what is there new to do on Killer?
So yeah, as you probably heard there from JCGlitchmaster, which I've also mentioned briefly in different points talking about this mode, and it's like, yes, the gens progress even faster than regular generators, which means that despite the fact that people will claim like, oh, but you have to travel with the blood canister, that travel time is immediately negated by the mere fact that the blood gen is still filled up double, if not triple, the normal speed anyway. So it's not like you're bringing the gen in its normal gen progression. It's speeding past it. So even if I decided to kick the gen, pouring a little bit in completely reverses all the damage I even did to it in the first place, and then some. It's very bad. So let's go here ahead and focus on what did the killers get in this update. Let's hear it.
Hello, you get nothing.
Nothing. So to summarize, there is absolutely nothing unique about the gameplay for Killer other than their gens are going quicker, and they removed the only fun bit of doing generators as a survivor and replaced it with a walking simulator.
But why?
So thank you, JCGlitchmaster, for pretty much summing it up for why it's one of the worst modes that we've ever gotten, as we can probably point out, as if it wasn't obvious enough, as you can probably imagine. It's terrible, and I've said this many a times. Here we are again, saying it again, because this is exactly my problem with the mode, and exactly my problem with these like updates and these things that they change. It's like they make it more bland and boring every single time. It's like, why are we not focusing on the parts that's interesting, the part that's fun, like the part that actually brings people in? Now we're just gonna make the gens faster, so Killer gets absolutely zero, zilch, nothing, and then Survivor's even more boring because you don't have skill checks or anything more interesting than fill canister pour. So like, what's the point of playing that? Like, come on now, it's garbage. The only thing you care about is the blood points, and even then it depends on the person.
Now there are some differences from last year, the big one being that perks actually affect these blood generators
And that's
now.
it.
On top of this, to try and prevent the gen rushing from last year, you get less blood per trip and it feels ever so slightly slower on Survivor. On screen is the difference between last year and this year.
So thank you once again, JCGlitchmaster, for putting this up, because I wouldn't have been able to like give a comparison because I haven't even been really playing the mode. But thankfully, JCGlitchmaster actually has a side-by-side view of how blindingly fast the gens were. It was like, yo, like, oh my god, you know what I mean? And people, I mean, you're not going to be surprised by this if you keep up with the channel, but there were people that genuinely thought that was fine and balanced, that the gen, as you can see on the left, with the same canister is pushing it to 80% or so. What? Like, what? Like, yo, oh my god. And then none of your perks like worked on the blood gens too. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing how broken it was, and it still is, just a little bit less so.
Changes mean that you can hold on to your generators as Killer for longer than 20 seconds. You can also carry Killer items with the blood cans, such as tapes, something a lot of people thought I'd have an issue with as a Sadako player. I don't. Sadako was literally unbeatable last year, to the point I didn't even play her in the mode anymore because it was too easy. Unfortunately, this nerf has resulted in every other Killer who has an item being substantially nerfed this year. For once, it was the other Ghost Girl affecting the Killer's balance for everyone rather than the nurse. And after putting about 30 hours into this mode between Killer on stream and 6 hours off stream, I can safely say that all these changes have improved the mode. It's gone from unplayable garbage to boring.
Isn't that great? Isn't it just exciting? Like, it went from literally broken garbage ass gameplay to still garbage but not broken. Okay. How exciting. Yay. Thanks for the gameplay. I'm gonna go forward and actually show like what the old stuff used to be, which is gonna be very important for us.
There was none of this blood gen garbage. Both sides had droplets of blood and you would put them into these basins scattered around the map. It then granted everybody in the zone a 25% increase on blood points for every action that they did.
Nice.
There was also gameplay benefits to this as well. Gameplay benefits in a modifier, unheard of. While in this zone, Killers had their lunge doubled, but their recovery time also doubled, while Survivors got 50% Iron Will, and their blood disappeared 50% quicker. Then if the Survivors crouched, it would make them completely silent.
So thank you once again, JCGlitchmaster, for bringing up these things and changes and stuff like that, because I could not be bothered. Behavior clearly does not want to put in any effort to fix it, to making the mode more fun or interesting. And I personally don't want to waste more time trying to cover those god awful changes. more than I have to at that point, because it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? It's just, you're just gonna set yourself up for disappointment. When we could have had this, you know, we could have had the more interesting, at least, because it was focused around blood point farming, right? So that's what the circle was for, and it had a little bit of extra bonuses. And then they removed it. Classic behavior fashion, anything that's actually fun, or at least that shakes things up, because it's supposed to be a limited time mode. You know what I mean? Like where people get on because it's an event so that they can do something different, like unique, fun. Nah. We're just gonna take all that out. I'm like, all right. I don't know what to do with that one. I'm like, all right. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of like what we kind of missed out on this whole time. Oh yeah, and then this is another part that JCGlitchmaster is showing, is that there was also like the you could like remove their charges, because like killers would walk around with like charges, and I think it's survivors as well, and you could go up to like the little like basin thingy and place it down, and you could just have different little zones. You know what I mean? And then they took it away. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the Blood Moon event. Do you guys think it's fun? It's good? Is it bad? Is it terrible? Do you want the old one back? Let me know your guys' thoughts, of course, in the comment section. And consider hitting the like and the sub if you really want to support. You can become a member on YouTube, Patreon, or even subbing on Twitch. I will see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Hargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.